Hi students, Mr. Martinez here. Hey, I just want to talk about choosing a quality investigation question for our science experiment. And there's a few things you got to consider. The first thing I want you to make sure you do is choose something that is interesting to you. You know, there's a variety of topics out there and there's all kinds of information on the internet. You might find different ideas in books, but if you don't choose something that is interesting to you, you know, you're not going to have any passion behind the experiment. You're not going to want to do the experiment. You're not going to want to research about it. So pick something that's interesting to you, plain and simple. The second thing that I want you to make sure you do is when you're looking for that project, make sure that it is something that you are able to research or able to actually conduct an experiment about. So don't pick something that you can't get the materials for. So for example, if you wanted to investigate how Venus flytraps survive in your backyard, and you don't have access to those types of plants, well, that might be a difficult experiment to conduct. So try to pick something that you know you can get the materials for. The third thing to consider is just don't overthink it, okay? Don't spend so much time on this part of the project that you're not able to move forward. So sometimes we might call that paralysis by analysis. So you're like kind of stuck there because you're sitting there overthinking which project you're going to do. Set yourself a time limit and say, hey, by this day I have to have a project chosen. So do some research, investigate some experiments, and then just set yourself one of those deadlines to say, hey, you know what, maybe these are my top 3 that I really like, and by a certain date I'm going to go ahead and make sure I pick one. Okay. The last thing to consider when choosing a science experiment is make sure you do something that's testable. So there's different questions out there that you might consider. So don't pick something that is somebody's opinion. Don't say, hey, what's better, hot Cheetos or Takis, because that's not something that really is a fact. So we're trying to get to a truth or add to the body of knowledge. Don't pick something that can be someone's opinion. Make sure we test something that or ask a question that is testable. Okay. I appreciate your time today. Hopefully that helps, and I will talk to you guys soon.